Jon Moxley, the AEW champion. Is it in his briefcase or is it something else? Who knows? But will we find out next week? Because it's Samoa Joe and Jon Moxley in a steel cage for the first time, because we know escaping isn't possible in AEW steel cage matches. There will be, or seemingly will not, there will seemingly not be any Death Riders involvement, leading to the question, Archie, could this genuinely be the time Samoa Joe defeats Jon Moxley and wins back the AEW championship?
No, I don't think Samoa Joe's beating John. I don't think Samoa Joe's got any chance. It's a 0 point. Actually, no, a 1% chance, because there's always a chance in wrestling, but depending on injuries and whatever. But it's a very, very slim chance Samoa Joe beats Jon Moxley, and I wish I could say different. I mean, Will Ospreay versus Samoa Joe intrigues me a lot more than Will Ospreay versus Jon Moxley at All In. And I mean, Samoa Joe once again is carrying the main event scene on his back now in AEW. But no, I don't think Samoa Joe is beating Jon Moxley. I think this is rightfully a kind of pit stop feud for Jon Moxley until we get to All In, or until we're getting closer to All In. And if I'm honest, I haven't been too interested in it. Of course, I love seeing Joe all the time because he's awesome. But I haven't been too interested in it, and I think it's maybe because that it's kind of predictable for me now. It's like I get that you can and you can't always rely on it on predictability, because you can make things interesting even when they are predictable. But I just feel like I'd not really have much interest in this. I've not really had much interest in the ops in terms of John, against in the main event scene. And maybe it's because it's predictable to me, and maybe it's because I don't have any feeling that Samoa Joe can win. But I don't think Joe's going to win. But unfortunately, I don't really have too much interest in this match at all. I know Jon Moxley's going to do some obscure thing that's going to hurt him again for some weird reason, but that's about it.
There's going to be a lot of blood, that is for sure, Archie.
Yeah,
BJ
and you
says,
know how I hate blood.
Oh, yeah. BJ says, I've got my guy Samoa Joe winning next week. Oh, okay. So that's interesting. I want to see some AEW Women's Tag Team Championships.
Yes.
I've been advocating for them for quite some time. Fernando says it's going to be violent. It's going to be highly entertaining, but Moxley is totally winning. And there was another comment here, numero 1 Superfly. And I think he's right. Samoa Joe is not winning next week. I'm expecting some sort of nonsense from the Death Riders and EVPs. And he mentions about the lights going out. Yeah, I think you're right there. That's why they spoke to the EVPs, wasn't it? So they can turn the lights out. And
yes, I tell you who's going to get involved. I know who's going to get involved.
Who?
He's going to get hit with a psycho knee. Somebody in a hoodie takes off the hoodie. None other than the scapegoat, Jack Perry.
Oh,
he's returned.
You might be right.
The prodigal son will be returned.
No, but I don't even think you're wrong.
Jack Perry.
Come here, River.
Oh.
He's back.
Clark, what were your thoughts on the main event match between Samoa Joe and Claudio, but also can we see a title change next week?
I'm so glad you started with that so I can be positive. I forget how good Claudio Castagnoli is until he wrestles every time, and then I'm like, dang it, what in the world? How do we always miss and forget how good Claudio actually is? Samoa Joe, excellent. I really enjoyed the match. As for the next part, I would love to see, I live on the West Coast. I'd love to see Samoa Joe win the title and beat Moxley in a cage match, but there is absolutely no chance in the world he wins this match. No way. 0.0%. It's the 100 to 1 horse in the Kentucky Derby. Like, there's no way. I don't know who it is that shows up. Jack Perry makes a lot of logical sense, but there will be shenanigans. That's why I didn't put a roof on the cage. Make sure absolutely no one can get in. And we've even seen people get around that type of a thing before. Samoa Joe will put on a very solid match. He and Jon Moxley will be violent. They'll paint the ring red. And then by the end of it, 1, 2, 3 on his back, or he'll be choked out or something like that. I'm not exactly sure what the finish looks like, but the finish looks like Jon Moxley gets his hand raised and they dip out of there with the briefcase.
Yeah, I think you've got it bang on, Clark. It's going to be something silly. It's going to be something stupid.
Yeah.
But that's what this storyline is. And it's building up to whoever finally does this and beats him is going to become a star. I do agree with that part. But it's, who is it and when is it? Could it be Samoa Joe next week? We seem to unanimously agree here. It will not be. There is a comment, though, from Ewan who says, what is the best way to watch the cage match? For example, streaming services. So there's two possible ways. One way, and this is for the UK. One way is Fight TV, where you can watch it live, but that's a subscription service. I think it's £5 a month, if I'm correct.
It's like £7 a month now, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, £7 something a month.
Yeah.
Or you could wait until Friday and it airs for free on ITV. As for America, it's on HBO Max and also on
TBS.
TBS. That's the one live. Oh, as for any other countries, I don't know. Those may vary.
Here's something I thought about. What if it's a swerve, and what if the title in the briefcase is actually the real world title?
For flip's sake.
And CM
Numo One says they could pull a Vince Russo and cut the lights to shock everyone that Vince McMahon is going to screw. Oh, no, Numo One. You should have at least said Shane McMahon again. Oh, gosh.
Shane McMahon. Yeah, Shane McMahon. What's going on there? They're meeting up in airports and all sorts. What's going on?
It was like over a year ago.
Yeah, but Numo One always predicts Shane McMahon. That's the thing.
Shane McMahon.
Really? I didn't even know
he'll be right.
We did see him.
He went Vince this time, so he went really off the rail.
BJ Dixon says
fans at this stage.
BJ Dixon says, do you guys think that MJF will join the Hurt Syndicate, or do you think Cedric will pop up next week? 1000% Cedric in my eyes.
Cedric.
I said it
Cedric.
earlier, though. I think it'd be really cool if Cedric's the bargaining chip for your MVP. He's the one that somehow called Cedric.
He cannot do that.
Why not?
Can't do it.
Why not?
Because it's awful. Like, why on earth would he not join without MJF?
No, it's not that. MJF made him an offer he can't refuse. Have you seen The Godfather? People do stuff.
But they're friends. He's friends with the Hurt Syndicate, though. So
right, and there are people that went against their friends in The Godfather. Watch the movie, Archie.
Yeah, but why wouldn't Cedric go to?
Because he made him an offer he can't refuse. Watch the movie.
What is this?
One in which he cannot refuse.
It's The Godfather one that's like 3 hours long.
Sounds like Vince Russo.
Yes, watch all 3 hours and then get back